Hey everyone, John here with Pro Edge Paintball. I'm back in the tech room today with one of our weekly tech videos. Today we have the Powerhouse Gen 3 regulator. A lot of you players out there have had your regulators a little over a year or maybe going on 2 years. So we're going to break it down. We're going to show you what to look for, how to service it, and how to lube it. Let's get started. Hey, so before we jump into servicing and repairing our Gen 3 Powerhouse Reg, I just want to give you guys a heads up. We are giving away free stickers on our website. So when you go to our website, you type in sticker, everybody gets one sticker set for free. And so it'll be the Texas sticker, proedgepaintball.com, our YouTube channel sticker, our standard Pro Edge sticker, and then one of our smaller stickers here, a little star on there. So go to proedgepb.com to get your free stickers. There is no charge. They're $2 online, but when you put them in your cart and you go to checkout, it's completely free. I believe shipping's covered as well. So just wanted to throw that out there. So let's jump right into our Powerhouse Regulator video. So this is the box that it comes in. You've got your Allen wrench that is usually in the bag. I went ahead and took it out. So all you're going to need is your small Allen wrench that comes in this, your small little tub of grease and lube, and this is special to Powerhouse Regs. And then of course this is one of our two-tone dust blue regulators. Of course, anything you guys see in the videos you can get at proedgepb.com. If you guys find this video helpful near the end of it or as you go through, before you head out, before you close the window, if you could take a second to like our videos. They really help our videos show up to other players like yourself and help grow our YouTube channel. And of course, if you are into tech videos, make sure you subscribe at the bottom. So let's get started. So I like to work on a regulator when it's off of a bottle. It seems to make it a little bit easier for me to hold on to it. It's not as big and bulky. So what we're going to do first to get started is I'm going to take it completely off. If you are going to take your reg off, make sure you take it completely off your bottle, or make sure the air, is completely out of your bottle before you take it off the bottle. So let's get started. So first things first is the bottom 3 screws here are going to loosen up the top piece here. So that way you can unscrew it. The top 3 screws are to allow you to swivel just the threaded part, or the cartridge as they call it, in your gun. So if you screw it on in your gun and the fill nipple sticking out the side, you can loosen those top 3 screws up and you can line it up like that. And that way when you're holding your gun, it doesn't jab you in your arm. But for this video, we usually only have to do these bottom 3 screws. Sometimes if these are a little too tight, or if the top screw is a little too tight, you'll have to loosen those up as well. So loosen these up. And these aren't extremely tight in there. You definitely want them to be firm. Take all 3 of those out. And if for some reason the screw gets stuck on here like this, instead of putting it in pliers, just take one of these screws that you can get to, one of the holes, and screw it in like 1 or 2 threads, and then kind of pull it out. And you're good to go. That happens quite often. And then this may unscrew. There we go. If for some reason you can't get this off with your hands, loosen up just like a half turn on all the top screws, and it'll come apart. So one other thing you're going to need for this video that I forgot to mention is a Q-tip. And I typically take a Q-tip and cut it in half, and I'll show you why here in a second. Okay, so you have the inside of your regulator here. You see there's already grease on this. This is a brand new reg. And so you're going to have your adjustment piece inside, the jet that sits all the way at the bottom. This is going to be like your reg seat with your piston. And I'm going to pull that out there. You've got your wave spring, 2 O-rings, O-ring at the top, and then your main spring and your pin that opens and closes. And then you do have an O-ring, a white O-ring inside of there. So I'm just going to start from the bottom, or from the top of the reg, and work my way back. If you ever have a leak coming out of the top hole here, 99% of the time it's just the white O-ring on the inside of your reg top of the cartridge. Pretty straightforward. The piece of metal, if it's damaged at all, sometimes it won't seal right, but this very rarely ever happens. I've never seen it happen actually. But this little soft piece here, round piece, it seals with a little O-ring inside. Of course, if you're screwing your bottle on your gun and it's leaking only once you screw it on your gun to turn the air on, check these 2 O-rings on the outside here. This is the most common problem because these will get nicked up when you're playing. Okay, So to start from the top and clean this, I usually take a Q-tip, and you want to take it and just press it against the side and work it all the way around. So go all the way to the bottom there. And mainly, you want to get any debris, any dirt. There's never supposed to be any dirt inside of this regulator. So if you play at a field that doesn't drain their compressor, sometimes you'll see like a white powder or something build up in here depending on the field. Same thing. Just want to clean up all this here because you really want these pieces to seal correctly. Any debris in there can cause damage that will cause it to leak and not work correctly. So if you've ever blown a burst disc before on your regulator, usually it's because something has failed on the inside because it's been scratched up. Okay, so you have your wave spring. I love these springs because there's not a bunch of shims that go all over the place and you can't lose them. You don't have to try to remember how to stack them. That's why Powerhouse is one of my favorite regs. So next on here, you want to grab a rag and you want to just wipe everything down here and get all the old grease off of it. Or lube, I should say, because I don't believe it's grease. Good to go. And I'm just taking it between my fingers and spinning it. You're going to make sure no lint or anything gets on here. Make sure it's good. And you want to inspect the reg seat here. This piece here actually seals against a piece of metal inside of the reg body. And so if this piece gets damaged and it can't seal correctly, air starts to seep through there and it causes the regulator to overpressurize, which causes, basically the failure of your regulator. So we're going to clean that down real well. This we'll lube up later. As far as the inside of the rest of your regulator, I don't recommend to take out the jet completely. That is removed from the bottom of the reg here, and there's a small there's a small O-ring on there, and you can remove that with a small Allen wrench head or a small Allen wrench. But I don't usually recommend that unless you're having problems. Other than that, I recommend just to take your Q-tip and you just want to go inside of here and you want to clean the tip of the jet. And what I mean by that is a small little metal piece, like a little nipple at the end of it with a hole through it, and that's where the air flows through. This regulator seat seals right on top, just like that. And it's all pressed together and it seals together. If for some reason that's damaged, like I said, it'll start to fail. So you want to make sure you just take a Q-tip and you want to clean this out really well. And I'm going to take one, I've used that a little bit, I'm going to take the other half of a Q-tip and just clean it out. Any debris that's in there, like I said, will cause damage, and make sure it's really clean. You can't over clean this. You don't ever want to use like any sort of chemicals or put any type of gun oil that you get for paintball like in the fill nip or anything like that. There have been horror stories where it causes problems, can cause it to explode, stuff like that. So just make sure you use the approved lube for a Powerhouse regulator on a Powerhouse reg. If you need more, powerhousepaintball.com I believe is our website, or prohpb.com. We don't have it on there yet, but we will. So again, clean this out real well. I don't usually recommend to take out the regulator adjustment piece because if you don't have the tool, you'll scratch it up. And if you don't have a reg tester to test the output pressure, once you take this out, you're going to have to reset your pressures. You're going to have to go to a store. So leave this alone, but normal maintenance, this is all you're going to have to do. Okay, so I'm going to wipe down this piece here on top. You're good to go. Okay, so then what's nice about cutting a Q-tip in half is I can use the back side to grab the lube out of here. So this is extremely thick. I don't know if you can see that, but it doesn't pour out. So I'm just going to take a little bit on the back end of this. It's clear, so it's going to be hard to see. Take a little bit on the back end of that. I'm just going to take it and put it on this O-ring here. And I'm going to turn this around and do the same thing here. And then I'm going to smear it on my hands. You just want a small coating all the way around. You're going to work in a clean environment because you don't want anything to stick on here. So a small little coating inside there. And that is pretty much it. It's pretty straightforward. Then of course, your wave spring, make sure there's no lint or anything on top of this. Make sure when you laid it down, nothing stuck to it. That is just going to slide together right there. Straightforward. Again, I wiped off the top part here. I cleaned the inside of that jet. I don't need to lube anything on the inside of this right now. And I don't need to lube the reg seat for any reason like that. Just make sure the O-rings have fresh lube on them. I'm going to take it. I'm going to set this down. It's going to kind of pop into place where the O-ring sits in place. One of the easiest things I found is go ahead and take your piston of your regulator, take your pin for regulator, and set it in like that. If you try to put it together, it's kind of a pain. So right now, what we've done is we have our wave spring, our piston, our pin with our pin spring, or a valve spring. Good to go. And I had a little hair right there, so I wanted to take that off there. And everything kind of stays together. So you're good to go. If you hear this noise back and forth, people freak out and say, hey, my tank is broken. This is actually the fill valve inside moving back and forth. Once there's air inside of it, it will stop moving. So it's made to do that, no worries at all. Okay, so get everything set together. Take your top piece here. I'm just going to set it straight down, and it'll line itself up right there. Again, if you try to flip it on there, it's kind of a pain, and I'm just going to hand tighten this back in. Screw that all the way down. If you do have a local store that will test the output pressure before you go and air it all the way up, I do recommend to do that, just in case you messed up. You don't want the regulator to overpressurize, or if you damage something in the inside of it, the regulator overpressurize and it'll blow your 1.8 burst disc. But if you've cleaned it up, you've done everything in the video, you shouldn't have any problems, especially if your regulator's in good shape. If you ever see the Powerhouse guys at a local event, make sure you stop by, ask them what they think if you should service your regulator. They usually will tell you yeah, and then they'll knock it out for you, usually free of charge, on the nice Gen 3, the Haymaker. So that is pretty much it for this video. You want to take your set screws, tighten them back up. Pretty straightforward on that one. You've used the lube in here. If you do run out of your lube, like I said, you can get it on the Powerhouse Paintball website. Just Google Powerhouse Paintball or Powerhouse Regulator, and this should be the first one that comes up. If you guys have any questions about your regulator, make sure you comment below. If there are other videos or other questions you have just about the regulator in general, maybe not servicing it, please let us know. You can find Powerhouse Regs on prohpb.com. Just type in Powerhouse at the top. We typically have a ton of colors. We mix it up. We do different batches here and there. So we have blue, red, green, silver, some other colors, gold I think even. And we have some new ones coming out soon. So good to go. So I'm just going to snug these up. Tighten them up real well. Again, I'm not cranking down them all the time or super hard. And this Allen wrench comes with your kit, like I said earlier, and the lube does too. So cool deal. Thank you guys. If you guys are in Houston and you want us to test your regs, bring them by. If you want us to service your regs, we do that as well. Otherwise, we will see you guys next time. Thank you guys for watching.